Awesome. So hello, I'm Nolan, CTO and co-founder of Warm Intro, and we make it easy for anyone to create, scale, and monetize their very own online community. So right now, if you run any sort of community, it probably looks something like this. People are hacking together makeshift communities using a pile of tools. Some are run on Slack, some have Facebook groups. If you're really unlucky, it's on a LinkedIn group. And many are just mailing lists and spreadsheets. I'm in over 10 different Slack communities at this point, and I can't say I check any of them often or know the other people in them. And this is the norm. This is how communities are run. What we have done with Warm Intro is turn this pile of tools into one simple system. We give each of our communities their own private branded space to onboard their members, host discussions and events, collect payments, and make warm introductions to each other. It's a single place where your community can go to get all the information they need. And not only that, we make sure we will not become yet another app you have to remember to check. All of our biggest features are built to operate through email and personal calendars. So this means you can have actively engaged members in the community who don't have to remember to log back in after sign up. And what we find is actually this is really powerful. We are currently in our pilot period working with a select number of communities to build up our core features. We focus on professional communities. Our customers include incubators and accelerators, networking groups, corporate innovation programs, and even other SaaS products that want to give access to their community as part of their offering. And the engagement, as you can see, has been even better than we thought, and we think pretty big. Because we know and track how each member engages, we end up with a very powerful set of data that we can feed into machine learning layers to make Warm Intro even better, to the point where anyone with a network or mailing list can create a turnkey self-run community. So what Twitch TV did for streamers and Shopify did for small boutiques, Warm Intro will do for communities. And speaking of collecting a bunch of data, don't worry, we do not and will not run ads or sell personal data. I think a third of our customers come from Facebook groups, and their biggest concern is privacy. So we are focused on having a tiered SaaS pricing, monthly or yearly for each community. And we also take a % on membership dues and event payments managed through the platform. For our round, it actually comes at an interesting time with COVID-19. Suddenly, any and every community's top priority is to get a fully featured online component. So we're drowning in demo requests, and our goal is to scale up a team to take advantage of what is an opportunity for us. I think I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to go pretty fast. My co-founder and I are always here to answer any questions, so don't hesitate to email us. I'll post it in the chat. And thank you.
Thank you, Nolan. So now, any questions or suggestions?
Hi, can you please tell a little bit more about the marketing strategy we have behind?
For marketing, we actually don't. We've done zero marketing and zero outreach, and our demos are full every week. We have, I think, around 8 to 9 hours we leave open, and those are like just packed. So we have a list right now of over 200 potential communities that have reached out to us that would like to be customers. And we, right now, we're in our pilot period, so each of our communities are very high touch. So one of the goals coming up will be to streamline everything so we can open up kind of the floodgates to all the communities that have reached out already.
So is this more like Nextdoor for virtual community? Nextdoor is for physical communities, right? So is this something like the Nextdoor? Because I can get intros there too for physical communities.
It is not really. We don't consider them a competitor or look at them as active in the space. So we are focused on professional communities. So a lot of, say, an incubator will host their events and have member discussions generated over email and make introductions between members, investors, startups. And this is all run through the system and data collected. So it's pretty professionally focused in terms of communities.
Correct. So there are some mentor hubs right now. There are a lot of products on mentoring. okay, which allow you to connect various types of people in a community, like particularly for startup communities.
Yep.
So how do you pitch against them?
So what we focus on and our kind of guiding light has always been connection. So every feature we build, we think about how can we connect the members? How through warm introductions, through like if you've heard of Lunch Club, through generated lunches that get planned for the members within within each community. So we really focus hard on actually getting people to know each other and connect within the whole community, not just mentor-mentee.
What would make people pay for this? I mean, there are a lot of services and communities that come for free from bigger organizations, but what is the main differential point that will make people pay for your service?
Yep. So one of the things we did with our pilots is make sure all of our communities are paid. We wanted to validate that it's easy to say you'll pay for something, but until it actually comes down to it, you never know. So we made sure from day one that this is something people will pay for. And a lot of our customers have moved away from Slack, have moved away from these free tools because each free tool does one thing. And they string together, 10, 20 of these tools, and it becomes a giant mess and headache. My co-founder, Irene, used to run an incubator called the Monarch Incubator. This is where Warm Intro originally came from. And she was dealing with this exact problem, where she at some point was using over a dozen tools and countless emails and spreadsheets, and her daily work was kind of monkey tasks, not stuff she was actually should be doing or what her value was.